Welcome to Faith, Flour, and Mason Jars. I'm Leah, and this is my little southern kitchen. The weather has gotten warm here in Pennsylvania, and so I thought what better way to celebrate nice warm June than to make some old-fashioned cucumber salad. Now this recipe calls for 4 medium cucumbers peeled and sliced. You're going to notice I'm just using one. But the sauce part of the recipe, the cream sauce part of the recipe, I'm going to make that whole amount. And then each day I'm just going to dice up a fresh cucumber, maybe some onions and a little bit of tomato and throw this in. And then add like a couple tablespoons of this sauce. That is because I don't like anything soggy. And like I said, if you know me for any length of time, you're going to know that about me. So I like my salads crispy. So what we're going to go ahead and do is you're going to peel and slice some cucumbers. If you want to take the seeds out, you can. I enjoy the cucumber seeds. You can slice them as thick as you want. Some of mine are sliced a little bit thicker than others. I usually try to get pretty thin, maybe 1/4 inch or less if I can. I do have a slicer that I can use, but I was feeling a little bit lazy here and didn't want to have to do any more dishes after a long day of work than I had to. So I just used a knife, which gets them just as good. Now I added some nice fresh spring onions to mine. I love spring onions. I had just picked these up that day and they were so amazing. So they were a little bit hard to peel because if you ever worked with spring onions, sometimes they fall apart a little bit easier. I don't know if it's because they're not fully developed or what, but I tried to slice these as thin as I could. Almost if you could picture like how you would get like ham at the deli, like shaved ham. Some of them were nice rings and some of them were just kind of shaved off. So I tried to slice my onions as thin as I can. As you can see, it was going a little bit more difficult than it should. One thing that I do love adding, and I used this for part of this mixture here, is I threw in some sliced tomatoes as well. Absolutely phenomenal. I love that combination. The recipe that I have specifically calls just for cucumbers, but you know, we like to think out of the box here at the Buca Ranch. So get those onions, slice them as thin as you want. You can use as many onions. You don't have to use any onions. This is just what I chose to do. For so many years, I would go to these restaurants and I would eat their cucumber salad. And I was like, this stuff is so amazing. I need to figure out how to make a recipe up. So I found this recipe, tweaked it to fit what I loved, and just went from there. And now I make this often in the summer. So as far as for the cream sauce, I call it the cream sauce. It's mayo based. You're going to take 1 cup of mayonnaise. Any mayonnaise will do. You can even use your homemade mayonnaise if you would like. But you're going to take 1 cup of mayo. Put that in your bowl. Use your little scraper. That way you can get all that delicious mayonnaise out of that bowl. Out of that measuring cup, I'm sorry. And now my recipe calls for a 1/4 cup of sugar. I used about a tablespoon of honey just because, once again, if you know us, we try to do as little with white sugar as possible. It was really delicious with honey. This was one of my first time. I think this might have been the first time that I used honey. It was absolutely phenomenal. Now the recipe also calls for 4 teaspoons of white vinegar. I have some apple cider vinegar that I always try to swap out white vinegar recipes for. I love the flavor of apple cider vinegar. So I did 4 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar in this recipe. So you can do white vinegar or apple cider vinegar. You could do half and half. And then we have some dill weed. You're going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of dill weed. I do a little heaping because dill weed is one of my favorite things in the world. So I use a little bit, maybe more of a heaping teaspoon, a 1/2 teaspoon. And then it calls for seasoned salt. I just used some pink salt. And as you can see, it fell right in the bowl. I'm like, why does stuff like that happen when I'm videoing? You know what I mean? So I had to stop and wipe that off and all that. Anyways, and then you're just going to stir and stir and stir and stir to get this all incorporated. It was a heck of a lot easier with honey than with sugar because I didn't have to worry about the sugar dissolving. The honey just stirred in so nicely. So just keep stirring, and then you can always taste it and see if it's missing a little something. I think a lot of times I threw in a little bit of black pepper, so you can do however you like, but just get this all stirred up as good as you can. And now for that bowl of cucumbers and onions that I showed you, I don't think I even added half of that. I might have added probably only about a quarter of the amount. So that sauce really goes far. I did let this crisp in the fridge just a little bit, and it was so amazing. While we're getting this all stirred in here, I'm just going to invite you, if you could take a moment to like this video, to share this video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That is so appreciated. I read each and every comment that y'all leave. Not one of them goes unnoticed. I appreciate you guys taking time to watch my videos. All right, so this is like literally my favorite salad. So I'm gonna give it a try. I didn't taste it. This is actually my first time making it with honey, but like I said, we try to always do as much as we can with honey rather than white sugar. So we're gonna give, it smells so good. You guys need to make this. It is so absolutely amazing. Oh my goodness, it's so good. Got it spilled in front of me. I don't forget if I told you guys, but you can throw tomatoes in here too. It's phenomenal. I might dice up a tomato to throw. You guys, you have to make it. It's like a taste of summer. It is absolutely phenomenal. This is not Joe's favorite salad, but that's okay because I could polish down this whole bowl with no problem. From my little southern kitchen to yours, I'm grateful you're here. Y'all come back.